Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 5, Book 57, Number 28. Narrated by Jabir bin Abdullah. The Prophet said, I saw myself, in a dream, entering paradise, and behold, I saw Rumaysa, Abu Talha's wife. I heard footsteps. I asked, who is it? Somebody said, it is Bilal. Then I saw a palace and a lady sitting in its courtyard. I asked, for whom is this palace? Somebody replied, it is for Umar. I intended to enter it and see it, but I thought of your Umar's gira, and gave up the attempt. Umar said, let my parents be sacrificed for you, O Allah's Apostle. How dare I think of my gira, self-respect, being offended by you. Volume 5, Book 57, Number 29. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. While we were with Allah's Apostle, he said, while I was sleeping, I saw myself in paradise, and suddenly I saw a woman performing ablution beside a palace. I asked, for whom is this palace? They replied, it is for Umar. Then I remembered Umar's gira, self-respect, and went away quickly. Umar wept and said, O Allah's Apostle, how dare I think of my gira, self-respect, being offended by you. Volume 5, Book 57, Number 30. Narrated by Hamza's father. Allah's Apostle said, while I was sleeping, I saw myself drinking, i.e. milk, and I was so contented that I saw the milk flowing through my nails. Then I gave the milk to Umar. They, i.e. the companions of the Prophet, asked, what do you interpret it? He said, knowledge. Volume 5, Book 57, Number 31. Narrated by Abdullah bin Umar. The Prophet said, in a dream I saw myself drawing water from a well with a bucket. Abu Bakr came and drew a bucket or two weekly. May Allah forgive him. Then, Umar bin al-Khattab came and the bucket turned into a very large one in his hands. I had never seen such a mighty person as he in doing such hard work till all the people drank to their satisfaction and watered their camels that knelt down there. Volume 5, Book 57, Number 32. Narrated by Sa'd bin Abi Waqqas. Umar bin al-Khattab asked the permission of Allah's Apostle to see him while some Qurayshi women were sitting with him, talking to him and asking him for more expenses, raising their voices above the voice of Allah's Apostle. When Umar asked for the permission to enter, the women quickly put on the veils. Allah. Volume 5, Book 57, Number 33. Narrated by Abdullah. We have been powerful since Umar embraced Islam. Volume 5, Book 57, Number 34. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. When the dead body of Umar was put on his deathbed, the people gathered around him and invoked Allah, and prayed for him before the body was taken away, and I was amongst them. Suddenly I felt somebody taking hold of my shoulder and found out that he was Ali bin Abi Talib. Ali invoked Allah's mercy for Umar and said, O Umar, you have not left behind you a person whose deeds I like to imitate and meet Allah with more than I like your deeds. By Allah, I always thought that Allah would keep you with your two companions, for very often I used to hear the Prophet saying, I, Abu Bakr and Umar went somewhere, I, Abu Bakr and Umar entered somewhere, and I, Abu Bakr and Umar went out. Volume 5, Book 57, Number 35. Narrated by Anas bin Malik. The Prophet ascended the mountain of Uhud and he was accompanied by Abu Bakr, Umar and Uthman. The mountain shook beneath them. The Prophet hit it with his foot and said, O Uhud, be firm, for on you there is none but a prophet, a Siddiq and a martyr, i.e. and two martyrs. Volume 5, Book 57, Number 36. Narrated by Aslam ibn Umar asked me about some matters concerning Umar. He said, since Allah's apostle died, I have never seen anybody more serious, hard-working and generous than Umar bin al-Khattab, till the end of his life. Volume 5, Book 57, Number 37. Narrated by Anas. A man asked the Prophet about the hour, i.e. Day of Judgment, saying, when will the hour be? The Prophet said, what have you prepared for it? The man said, nothing, except that I love Allah and His Apostle. The Prophet said, you will be with those whom you love. We had never been so glad as we were on hearing that saying of the Prophet, i.e., you will be with those whom you love. Therefore, I love the Prophet, Abu Bakr and Umar. And I hope that I will be with them because of my love for them, though my deeds are not similar to theirs. Volume 5, Book 57, Number 38. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Allah's Apostle said, among the nations before you there used to be people who were inspired, though they were not prophets. And if there is any of such a persons amongst my followers, it is Umar. Narrated Abu Hurairah. The Prophet said, among the nation of Bani Israel who lived before you, there were men who used to be inspired with guidance though they were not prophets, and if there is any of such persons amongst my followers, it is Umar. Volume 5, Book 57, Number 39. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Allah's Apostle said, whilst a shepherd was amongst his sheep, a wolf attacked them and took away a sheep. The shepherd chased it and got that sheep freed from the wolf. The wolf turned towards the shepherd and said, who will guard the sheep on the day of wild animals when it will have no shepherd except myself? The people said, glorified be Allah. The Prophet said, but I believe in it, and said to Abu Bakr and Umar, although Abu Bakr and Umar were not present there, at the place of the event. Volume 5, Book 57, Number 40. Narrated by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. I heard Allah's Apostle saying, while I was sleeping, the people were presented to me, in a dream. They were wearing shirts, some of which were merely covering their chests, and some were a bit longer. Umar was presented before me and his shirt was so long that he was dragging it. They asked, how have you interpreted it, O Allah's Apostle? He said, religion. Volume 5, Book 57, Number 41. Narrated by Al-Miswar bin Makrama. When Umar was stabbed, he showed signs of agony. Ibn Abbas, as if intending to encourage Umar, said to him, O chief of the believers, never mind what has happened to you, for you have been in the company of Allah's Apostle, and you kept good relations with him and you parted with him while he was pleased with you. Then you were in the company of Abu Bakr and kept good relations with him and you parted with him, i.e. he died, while he was pleased with you. Then you were in the company of the Muslims, and you kept good relations with them, and if you leave them, you will leave them while they are pleased with you. Umar said to Ibn Abbas, as for what you have said about the company of Allah's Apostle and his being pleased with me, it is a favor Allah did to me. And as for what you have said about the company of Abu Bakr and his being pleased with me, it is a favor Allah did to me. And concerning my impatience which you see, is because of you and your companions. By Allah, if, at all, I had gold equal to the earth, I would have ransomed myself with it from the punishment of Allah before I meet him.